Welcome to the channel. The channel is for education and culture based on historical and scientific evidence. So since Sifu Mark Wiley shared his podcast with me, many Wing Chun Kuen questions or problems have been surfaced. And so today I like to share with you when people talk about Wing Chun today, it is not necessary it is Wing Chun martial arts or Wing Chun Kuen. So you might ask me, what do I mean? Well, for example, Wing Chun is the martial art of the opera actor, or usually say that Wing Chun is the martial art of the Red Boat opera actor. But the Red Boat opera actor have two types. One is the anti-Qing, one is pro-Qing. So one cannot take Wing Chun as everything. One need to differentiate. It is pro-Qing Red Boat opera Wing Chun, or it is the anti-Qing opera Wing Chun. Now, today, when people talk about Wing Chun, Wing Chun, we need to really clearly know. Is it Wing Chun cosplay? Is it Wing Chun on paper? Or it is Wing Chun Kuen or Wing Chun martial arts? Okay? Today's Wing Chun, we like it or not, it has become Wing Chun cosplay, Wing Chun on paper, Wing Chun Kuen, or Wing Chun martial arts. Three types. So, I'm going to share with you with three examples, so you know what is the difference. Is it a Wing Chun cosplay? Is it a Wing Chun on paper? Or is it the Wing Chun Kuen, which is the martial art, the fighting art? So here on, we need to be really clear on this thing. One must not take the Wing Chun cosplay as Wing Chun Kuen. One also must not take the Wing Chun on paper as Wing Chun Kuen, because these are all different stuff. Now, the first example I want to share with you, so that you know there's three types of Wing Chun, is the sets, say playing the Xiu Lim Tao sets. Very basic. The Wing Chun cosplay will be like those who follow whatever in the Hong Kong Wing Chun movie, or the Wing Chun opera. Right now in China, there's this one opera which is dance with a Wing Chun and saying all kinds of stuff like Wing Chun. Those are Wing Chun cosplay. So it is, you always can see like in the movie, and people going to stand in the pigeon toe and then start to do this, like in the movie, and then you heard all this movies music, like the Yip Man movie music. Okay, those are Wing Chun cosplay, and some even go further, wearing the old Chinese type of costume and play that. So it is just mimicking whatever other people play. Okay, so that's Wing Chun cosplay. And some might even say, my teacher is this guy. His teacher is this guy. And this is the most authentic. But what did they do? They do mimicking posture, mimicking movement, make believe. So that is Wing Chun cosplay. Okay, mimicking the 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 movement like in the Xiu Lim Tao. Okay, and you can see that all actor or actresses, be in the movie or in the opera, uh, in the play, all this dancer can do a perfect type of Xiu Lim Tao, according to them, of course. It looks very good. That's cosplay. The second type, Wing Chun on paper, is in the past 100 years, many got influenced by, say, Tai Chi. So they say, when you do the Xiu Lim Tao set, like your Yi Ji Kam Yong Ma, you have to tuck in your tailbone, and then you need to have your spine straight up, and then you have to do all sort of stuff, like you have to follow a straight line, and then you have mind power. Those are Wing Chun on paper. We just tell you need to uh, hold on, lifting your anus, straighten your spine, all those kind of stuff. Align your bone, your spine, whatever. Those are on paper. So why is on paper? Because it is based on somebody's theory, or somebody have read some Tai Chi Chuen theory, and then it come to that, which is it do not follow the human body, the agronomic and physiology. And so, what is Wing Chun Kin? Well, when you do a Xiu Lim Tao, you have to follow the physical of the human, the breathing of the human, the intra-abdominal pressure of the human. That's to the minimum. So when you practice a Xiu Lim Tao, all the body, physical, your breathing, your inter-abdominal pressure, all is one. And you develop that. Notice that the Wing Chun cosplay is just mimicking movement. It's like those dancers. When people say you have to be soft, it's soft. Okay? Now, for the Wing Chun on paper, when you do the Xiu Lim Tao, you have to tuck this tailbone and all sort of style, your spine, your mind power. But it talk nothing at all with breathing. Can you believe that anything which is nothing to do with breathing can be a martial arts? Is that a reality? Look at all the martial arts, be it Western boxing, be it BJJ, be it Kyokushin, be it Thai boxing. Do they all have their breathing? And that need to train. That is a very important component. So if you do cosplay, well, it's just cosplay, it's just mimicking something. It's like a dance, mimic an choreography. You can say, well, I want to do it this way. My teacher tell me to do that way. Well, sorry, that still is a choreography because they have no content inside there. And then when it is on paper, Wing Chun on paper, you say, well, this is internal. I want to lifting my anus and then uh, straighten my spine, all sort of stuff. Is it real? Of course it's not. Why? Human. When you exhale, your anus is actually lift up. And your spine is moving one way, swaying one way. When you inhale, your anus or in a scientific term, your pelvic floor muscle is actually relaxed, loose down, synchronized with your diaphragm. And your spine is having another state in comparison with the exhale. So in the exhale and inhale, there's no way saying that I'm going to hold on or lifted my anus and keep my spine straight. Are you human or are you something else? And you know that if you do those kind of stuff, it's going to influence your breathing, your body handling, because your spine don't like that, and then your intra-abdominal pressure, which is you need to be able to handle your core. That's why it's called on paper. Why it sounds good on paper. So only if you practice the Wing Chun, the martial arts, the Wing Chun Kuen, then this body can be strengthened. Not Wing Chun cosplay, not Wing Chun on paper. Wing Chun on paper today, we can scientifically debunk the entire thing because it doesn't make any sense for human to effectively and efficiently using the body. Okay? So this is the three types. The first example. The second example, Wing Chun fighting techniques. The cosplay were like you watch in the Ip Man movie. Wing Chun, Hendrik Santo. You put a hand out there, and then you got this called Tan Sao, and then this is Sun Punch, and Punch, 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 and then this is Fuk Sao, and then this is a Bong Sao. Well, you look at movie, it's all like that. Even you can use that to fight Mike Tyson. Okay? Well, but that is just a mimicking whatever it is. If one practice that way, it is a cosplay. It is a mimicking. Now, how about the Wing Chun on paper? Wing Chun on paper will be saying, if he come to me, he punch me, I'm going to follow the closest between two line. 2 point is a straight line. He punch me, I'll punch him, and I'm faster than him because 2 point, the closest between 2 point is a straight line. And then I can use my bong sao. I will be able to neutralize his strength. Okay? And then I'm going to use my tan sao to force him in. Well, all of those. Okay? What? Does it sound good? Yes, it sounds good. Well, the closest between 2 points, You think that is a straight line. You go for the center line. And you call this is a soft art. It's soft. It is like female art. It is soft. The closest between 2 points is a straight line. It is a soft art. So we pressurize him with a tan sao. And we have the structure which is really strong. Now, why is it on paper? How is it that the closest between 2 points is a straight line, and then you attack to the center line? You have all these hand techniques to pressurize him. It's called soft. Can you do it? If the other side is a Mike Tyson, and you say, "Well, I'm going to doing a straight line and punching, attacking, real bulldoze him, chain punch." Does it work? Is that solved? Is that solved by definitions of the Chinese, the ancient Chinese? And is it true that it is solved in physics? Well, of course it is not. It is crushing each other, straight line to straight line. His line of fire and my line of fire crush in together. Whoever bigger, who win. And there are no chance if you're 120 pounds, try to force somebody's 250 pounds hand because it is momentum play. Physics, human, and it's not Chinese either. So how is the Wing Chun Kuen, say 1850, the anti-Qing? Well, the first thing, it is a soft art. Soft art meaning concession without concession. He throw me a punch, I'm not going to stand here. I'm going to slip an angle in. Shoot in close to his body. In this body, I'm going to shut down his offense, meaning I'm going to make this hand of him become limiting, have the limiting degree of freedom. I want to make him, this guy, this hand become defensive, and I'm going to attack from here. My body positions is putting him on the defensive position. If he further struggle, I'm going to crush him in because my leg can attack while my body is pressurizing. There is no such thing as the closest between 2 points is a straight line or going center line versus center line compete who is have a better, more force or strength. Soft in Chinese, rou, or in the ancient Chinese or in Japanese today, judo, jiu-jitsu. It means you don't fight force with force. That's why the theme is concession without concessions. He go at me, I concession without concessions. I slip in, limiting him or big, striking him with my hand. If he struggle or try to get my back, it's easy. I'm going to attack him there because my body is in there. Now, the real Wing Chun, Kuen, the martial arts, doing this concess without concession, shoot in here, limiting him, shut down his offense, and then attacking him. It's like what? It's like those our friend who practice BJJ. You of course you have to train a lot on it. It's like the BJJ friend train how to get in and for takedown. That is the uniqueness of Wing Chun 1850. It's always concess without concessions. Nobody is going to fight you straight line and try to bulldoze the other party. Not to mention that you need to shoot in close to him. You need to disable him, meaning put him in the defensive mode and attack him with your leg, your body, your arm. Is that a guarantee stuff? There is no guarantee, even if you know this. It is the same with if a friend practice BJJ. Takedown is not guaranteed. You have to train so much that you be able to go on different way, and you have to spar with it. You cannot do those type of things with chi sao. You look at our BJJ friend, how long they have to train, how many repetition they have to train for their takedown. That is exactly how one need to do to develop the concess without concessions. And of course, when you go take down, you might get take hit. But because it's so close, the strike might not be as strong. And of course, when concess without concession, you might take hit too. But because you're going in, your angle is have a degree there. You don't take the full blown of he go for your center line, you go for his center line, and if he's stronger, you dead. So this is the difference. Okay? You don't stand there talking about your hand, this technique, that technique, or only have a one way straight line, this technique, that technique. Those are on paper. That's why you never see those kind of thing on MMA. The closest you see that is in the Wing Chun versus Kyokushin 1975. Playing those kind of thing with the Kyokushin and end up get KO because your friend, your opponent, your rival is not going to fight you straight line this way, and it's not necessary. So on paper, yes, it is sound, but on those pro training, you won't be able to play there. That's why it's called Wing Chun on paper. Okay, not to mention before there's no breathing training and all this thing. You don't have the engine to drive thing. Now, the third example I want to share with you. Say wooden dummy. You go watch all the Hong Kong movie. People love to play, or even the Chinese television, the show, the night festival show, will show you a wooden dummy. Okay, all right, like this move. This get to the head pulling, and this hand and your body switch from here. Well, again, Wing Chun cosplay is you play exactly like that. So it doesn't matter it is the movie star playing in the Chinese festival special program on TV or in the movie. It is like that. And then you say, oh, it's good. That is Wing Chun. It look Wing Chun. It's cosplay. It doesn't know what is going on there. You just go like that and like that, whatever. Okay? So just pay attention to this using the hand, pulling the neck, and then this hand pull another the wooden dummy hand. You know, all you guys who practice wooden dummy, you know that techniques. Okay, so you look the same. Everybody The same, you can have 1,000 people, 1,000 dummy play the same thing. That's cosplay. Now, so what is Wing Chun on paper? And with this example, with this particular example, in the wooden dummy, where your hand behind the wooden dummy, and then this is on the wooden dummy's hand. What people were gonna tell you, he have a center of gravity. You have a center of gravity. You both have a resultant center of gravity. So your key is to have your balance center gravity, COG, and then you want to pull his head so that you make him in balance. And also, at the same time, you want to balance all this resultant. Sounds good? Yes. Right? Physics, right? This his center of gravity, my center of gravity. It's Tai Chi like that too. You have to be stable, balanced. So Wing Chun for fighting. Wing Chun Kuen. How is it? Well, let me share with you. This is how it is. How do I do it? You can go back and you put whatever I'm showing you just now in slow motion, 4 times slower. I do it very slow already. That is the proper techniques. So others, you want to perturb his balance, make him imbalance. I am balanced in my COG, and then have the mutual COG. All sounds good. But the real life is, as I just shared with you, this simple. You cannot drive a car thinking, hey, how I'm supposed to balance my left wheel and my front wheel and all those kind of stuff. The design is to go in. That's it. So that is the reason why it is called on paper. It's on paper. Okay? Techniques, 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 your balance, your this and that. Instead of concess without concession, bang, 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 go. Now, that's why, again, you need this MMA dummy. You're not standing here, your balance, my balance. No, you get in, you walk in. So you can check plate slow motion, 4 times slower, 0.25, and see what part of my body, how I torque the entire thing, how I actually make him fall. That is Wing Chun. So that is Wing Chun Kuen. You have to be proficient with that. So when you face disregard of you go from here or you go from here, you know it is always concession without concessions. You know when you get in here, you actually shut him down so that you shut his offensive down. And then you have two arms and your elbow and your body and your leg is attacking him. He will struggle, you continue, follow him. And you have to practice a lot, a lot, a lot until any time, even the sleep, you wake up, you get an attack right away, you apply that. It's just like people who practice Western boxing. You attack him when he just awake, he's going to do that for you because he practices that every day in and out. And a lot of repetition, maybe 3,000, 5,000, 10,000 times. Okay? And it is never, as I just shared with you, oh, it sounds good, it looks good. Okay, everybody looks good. You have 1,000 people doing that, it looks good. And then you have the center of gravity, blah, blah, blah. Okay? So I hope that you be able to see what is a cosplay, Wing Chun cosplay. What is a Wing Chun on paper? What is Wing Chun Kuen? Of course, in this free world, people are free to do Wing Chun cosplay. People are free to do Wing Chun on paper. People are free to do Wing Chun Kuen. But it has to be differentiated now. It cannot be the guy who do cosplay thinking that he's a grandmaster, the guy who do the on paper thinking he's a grandmaster, and yet those who practice the Wing Chun martial art, fighting art, is remain unknown because the entire world is you have the Chinese government promote those type of Wing Chun culture. It's called Wing Chun cosplay culture. You have that promoting the Wing Chun on paper. It's like those are Tao philosophy. This is how it is with science. But it never is the Wing Chun fighting art. That's why when you get up to face the rival, if you do Wing Chun cosplay, you do Wing Chun on paper, you cannot handle a few seconds. And is that true that if you practice Wing Chun martial art, you always win? No. As what I shared with you. You study BJJ, you want to do a takedown, how many thousand times of repetition you have to practice it, train it, and do it in the sparring. And sometimes you cannot do it. So the same thing with concession without concession. Shut down his offense, attacking him, attacking him in a different angle, which is like what we call the palm flower footwork. It is no guarantee you win. But if you do it for thousands of times, then when you're raising up to the challenge of a rival, people see this is Wing Chun. As for those who do Wing Chun cosplay, the minute the action comes, he's going to fight this way. Oh yeah, I'm going to fight Western boxing way today. Or I'm going to fight BJJ way today. There's no uniqueness. Same with the Wing Chun on paper. I'm going to do the Tai Chi soft way. Well, how about when you stood up to your rival? What do? So this is what I like to share with you. I know many people don't like this. Well, I'm telling you the truth. That Wing Chun have the anti-Qing red belt Wing Chun. They're the pro-Qing red belt Wing Chun. And today, the Wing Chun have Wing Chun cosplay, Wing Chun on paper, Wing Chun the fighting art. I know many people not like it. But I based on history and technical today, I split this off. Why? Because there are a lot of young people or a lot of sifu in today who teaching Wing Chun. We want them, the guy who is actually into the Wing Chun Kuen, not the Wing Chun cosplay, not the Wing Chun on paper. We want them to have a mind and a heart to do what they do. So they don't have to do the Wing Chun cosplay. They don't have to do the Wing Chun on paper because those are wasting their time. You want them to have a focus on Wing Chun Kuen, Wing Chun martial arts. Forget about all this cosplay. My grandmaster is this guy, that guy, that guy. Who cares? You are doing cosplay. And the same thing, like on paper. Wow, this is like the Tai Chi say internal blah blah. Hey, wait a minute. You don't even know how to breathe. And you keeping talking about all these techniques and your COG, but you don't even know that it is a momentum play. So we want the Wing Chun Kuen practitioner today. Yes, there's a lot of them. We want them to focus and no longer tangle with this movie stuff and this and that because their time, their life is precious. So can all this Wing Chun martial art practitioner go learn BJJ? Sure, they should go learn BJJ. Why? Come on, even General Chi Ji Guang, when they fought the Japanese pirate, General Chi Ji Guang go learn the Japanese samurai sword play because they learn it. That's why General Chi Ji Guang be able to improve his army skill. You say, well, I want to concess without concessions. I want to shut down his offense. Well, if you go learn BJJ, you go learn Western boxing, it's going to help you to know, do you have weakness in here?